TunePocket.com.
Falcon fans, Falcon Nation, it's your boys, Dirty Fanatics United, back with another episode, I believe, episode number 24, coming at you live. As always, I'm with my boy Philip, my co-host. Brother, how you doing? How you been? What's going on today?
It ain't been a good day, that's for sure. For a second week in a row.
Definitely hasn't been a great past 2 weeks, man. Dirty Birds fall 2-2 today to the Jags in London. A lot to talk about today, a lot to chat about. Definitely episode that we got to address some things. Hope to have some people come through and hit the link to join in and talk some Falcon football and discuss what they've seen today in London. Philip, a lot to talk about, so we'll go ahead and just run through what our subjects are today. We'll give some Falcon news and updates as always. Our next subject would be the Falcons fly back to Atlanta, defeated. Injury report, with play calling, bad QB play, terrible passing coverage. What's going on? Around the league scores, NFC South standings, and what is the success to getting back to winning games? Philip, real quick before we get started, man, we'll jump to the chat. If you're here, please leave a like, leave a share, leave a comment. If you're new to YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Real quick, shout out to Anthony House for tuning in, Skylar Cravey tuning in, and more. Philip, we got a couple comments here. Anthony House in the house. He said, What's good, Anthony? Appreciate you coming through, bro. Chase Griner, appreciate the check-in, dog. Travis Preston here on YouTube said, Lord have mercy. Travis, brother, we feel the pain. We feel the pain 100%. We're going to break it down here on Dirty Fanatics United. Getting right into it, man. Philip, let's talk a little bit about these Dirty Birds, man. Break it down from the top. Let us know what you've seen. Break it down from the moment you woke up this morning. What did you do from the beginning of your day to get ready to watch these Dirty Birds?
Well, I woke up, did my my normal daily game day routine. Got up, brushed my teeth, I also ate and then took a shower type things just like that, and then just listen to like my game day playlist. You feel me, to get hyped. You know what I mean? Then got ready to watch the game, and then I watched. I noticed a little Toy Story fun day type thing, so I watched that a little bit as well while watching the game. Also, I mean, it looked cool at first, but I just lost interest. That just started the game, and we weren't playing like we should. It's just a turn my day all upside down, man.
As far as just watching the game and seeing coming out early, 3 and outs back to back. Just take us through what you were thinking throughout the first quarter, second quarter, leading up to the fourth quarter. What did you see today in Atlanta or in London that went wrong? What could we have prevented? What could we have done differently?
For one, I might have multiple. I ain't gonna lie to you, but main one, we got to make smarter decisions offensive wise. That's the biggest thing. Whether we're scanning the field or whether it's play calling or offensive line, we got to make smarter and better decision making when we're out there, because it's not looking too good here these past 2 weeks, man. It's not the same offense that we've had game 1 and 2. It's kind of concerning.
Very concerning seeing Desmond go out. Coming into the game today, you were 4 touchdowns with 1 interception on the season. Not looking too bad as a Falcon fan. A young QB that seemed to be progressing each week, other than the week in Detroit. He had a bad week, and that comes in the NFL. Every player has a bad week, but watching it fall over to the next week in London, where you're hoping to get a bounce back game, you're going up against a team that's 1 and 2, just took a bad beating by the Texans, a team that's not all that great themselves. They're still young. So going into London, I was thinking this is definitely a bounce back game. This is the game that we get back on the train. Even the announcers were talking about it. This is the game you get Bijan started back, which we did. This is the game that you get Drake London, you get Kyle Pitts involved, and that always seems to be the back burner. The past 3 weeks, even you can say the Green Bay game as well, Philip. We were in situations, if we didn't have the run game, we wouldn't have won that game. That's a big problem. So seeing Ritter, throw the interceptions, it's only going to make him better as a player coming out after halftime, adjusting, throwing that touchdown pass to kind of settle in, get back in the rhythm. Arthur Smith seemed like that first drive after halftime was a lot better play calling. It seemed to work out better for him. It was a lot of RPOs, smaller routes, more target rate, more targets to Kyle Pitts on that particular drive. So, when you see stuff like that, that's film that you take from a game and you get better off of. You see what your building points are and what you need to progress in. So, as a fan, walking away 2-2 is not the most terrible thing that could happen right now. We could be 0-4. We could be 0-4 right now, Philip. So being 2-2 right now at week 4 is not bad. Just like here in our comment section, Philip Miss Carey said, "What's up, Chase and Philip? Sucks to lose again. Really hope we can get to 3-2 at home against the Texans." So yeah, you get the Texans game coming up next week. You're back in the bins. Just FYI, if you didn't know, Desmond Ritter is undefeated in the bins. So you look forward to going back to the bins in week 5 and bouncing back against a young CJ Stroud, a team that's still trying to find their identity as well. So, Philip, your thoughts of heading into Atlanta next week, playing Texans.
Houston.
Yeah, is this a bounce back game? Is this a game we can finally get stuff rolling, or is it time for Taylor Heinicke?
Okay, I'm just keep it a buck with you. I'm not too impressed with Ritter at the moment. I'm a fan of Ritter, but just be honest with you, he's letting me down. I'm one of them fans that he's just proving me wrong, and it's kind of as of right now, and it kind of sucks because I want him to be the guy, but I'm also like, it's whether on the fence whether you want to just get start something fresh before but in my opinion, see how he does against this Houston team. If he has another bad game, then you take measure. If by halftime, if it's not what you think it is, it's time to bench him. That's just how it's got to go.
And I agree with 100% of what you're saying, Philip. This is a guy we've backed. This is not a bash Desmond Ritter podcast. This is not what this show is about at all. We respect Desmond Ritter 100%. We know he's a young quarterback. I believe today was his 7th or 8th NFL start in the league. So the man hasn't even made triple digits yet in starting in the NFL. I think a lot of the reason why you see the fan base so irate right now about Desmond is because, I seen a post today by a Dirty Bird himself, no other than the man of Busta Burns, huge Atlanta Falcon fan. If you don't know him, he keeps it a buck 100%. Check his Twitch out. He's a real diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. He posted today, Atlanta Falcon fans would rather win than care about hurting feelings. And that's 100% true, Philip. Atlanta's at the point where they want to win. This year, Arthur Blank came into the season saying, this is a part of a 3-year plan. This is the final end of that plan. This is the year. This is the year that the Falcons get it right. We take that next step, and we're the NFC South division leaders. Sadly to say, after today, we are no longer number 1. We're number 2 in the NFC South. So a lot at stake right now. A lot, like you're saying, if you want to take that chance on still developing Ritter throughout the season, are you taking the chance on making the playoffs, or are you taking the chance on diminishing your chances of being that powerhouse football team that we all desperately want from the Atlanta Falcons?
It's been 6 long years.
Real quick, man, we'll check the chat. We got some new viewers in, a couple comments coming through. So if y'all will just bear with me for a quick second. Dylan in the chat, he said, "Go get Ryan from free agency."
That man, Maddie. My boy, Maddie.
That's the subject for another day. So imagine what Ryan could do with this team. We got to have the blocks, man. We got to have the blocks. Even with a Matt Ryan in the backfield, I don't think he progresses like we all think he would with some of these blocks that we're giving up this year. Bodie 3000 in the chat said, "What's up, fellas? Bad blocking, bad play calling, and bad QB play today. We got a lot of work to do, but we can get it there. Rise up." Rise up, Bodie, man. We appreciate you tuning in. That's Bodie from One Time for the Fan. If you haven't already, head over to One Time for the Fan. Hit that subscribe, hit that like, and hit that share. Like I said, man, much love to that podcast crew over there. DSGB Hall in the chat, he said, "What's up, fellas? We finally got a decent defense, and the offense is behind. We got to dig deep. We all want Ritter to do good." 100% agree with DSGB Hall's comment here, Philip. Just your thoughts on what Ernest is saying.
I mean, I agree. I want it as much as I want him to be that guy. Like I said, we just got to get him. Me personally, I'm going to give him. If I was coach, I'm giving him one last game. If it's another bad week between everybody, which is not fully on him, but a couple things are keyed down directly on him. But it's not fully. It's an offense in general. Play calling is still the chip, man. And we can't sometimes create separation, but he's also when he does get the time, he's throwing into double coverages. That's crazy to me. But
and Ritter said in his own press conference, he took 100% of the blame. He said there was plays that I should have looked off. I should have looked the linebacker off. And Philip, there was passes today that Desmond Ritter made that were freaking magnificent. I'm talking about on the line, perfect accuracy, back shoulder throws. The touchdown pass to Drake is a hard throw.
And then, So and the one to John.
The talent is most definitely there. I'm no way in no shape or fashion bashing Desmond Ritter. As a Atlanta Falcon fan, as a loyal Atlanta Falcon fan, yes, during the games, I do get a little upset. I will say a little bit of things that I don't mean, but that's just the fan in me. That's just the dirty bird in me, and it is what it is because I want to see my team do great, and I'm sure everybody in the comment section can agree with that. When you love a team as much as you do, there is emotions attached to how they play out in the field, and it sucks, being a fan that having no control over that. But I'm backing Ritter, I'm backing Arthur Smith, I'm backing Dave Ragoni, whoever is in scheme of the Atlanta Falcons. I will back until they are no longer part of this organization. Headed to the next chat here. I believe this is Kiki Phillips. She said, "Hey, y'all, what's up, Kiki? Appreciate the tune in." Next chat here is Miss Gracie said, "We know Art is stubborn, though. He's not benching Ritter anytime soon. Look how long he waited to bench Mariota."
In my opinion, that might be a problem. I'm just saying, if we continue to play like this, it might be a problem. You have a chance. You dead seriously. Like we have the team to make it to that next step. If you wait too long, you may not get that. And who's to say some of these players like Calais that's on a 1-year deal, who's to say he may retire next year, that takes away a little bit on the defense and certain things like that. I think we, just have to wait and see how things go. But if it continues to be like this, you got to make that. You got to, or that it may be concerning on your leadership as a coach as well.
Look, we kind of already carried ourselves into this subject, speaking on the quarterback situation, but let's talk a little bit about the play calling, the pass coverage. What is going on with this Atlanta Falcon team? And people in the comment section, please comment and let us know what you think, what these Atlanta Falcons need to do to get back to being the dominant Atlanta Falcons they showed in week 1 and week 2. Philip, real quick, man, let's touch up on a little bit of the pass coverage. There's a lot of times, and we've seen a couple of times today, Ritter had a chance in the pocket.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of times, a good bit of times, and this is falling in from 2 weeks ago, falling in all the way to week 4. This Drew Dolman steadily getting pushed back in Desmond Ritter's face. It seems like he doesn't have time to settle in that pocket. I went live today during the game and talked a little bit about how I'd love to see Ritter step up in the pocket, deliver that pass, and stop taking so many sacks that we take. And I think that comes along with Ritter being afraid to throw those interceptions. Philip, your thought on the pass coverage with the shitty Drew Dolman play today? We could talk a little about McGarry as well. There was a couple times he was letting his guy go by, but he was against a guy like Walker. So we do know that's a big name in the NFL.
Yeah.
Your thoughts today, Philip, on just the O-line play today?
It did look a little bit better than what it did last week. We all know that. But something's still not like what we were used to from a year ago. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's just something offensively just ain't. I don't know. It's just hard
I
to
can tell
think
you what it
of,
is,
and
Philip,
but
and I can tell
it's just
you
crazy to think it's not working though.
just from
Like
a viewer standpoint and just knowing how the NFL works. We watched it for years. We're big fans of the NFL. Everybody in this chat is a fan of the NFL. Um, the NFL catches on fast, bro.
yeah,
Week one, week two. Desmond Ritter to Bijan Robinson was the cliche. That's what we did. Desmond to Ritter, or Ritter to Bijan. Teams scan against that, and it showed against Detroit. That was the first team
right.
that really took Bijan out of the game. Today, not really so much the case. Bijan was still in the game, but that shows even with a running game, these running backs are not going to be the heroes that we need them to be. You got to have the passes down the field, and that the passes are going to open up the run game even more. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
it works both ways. There's a lot there that can be fixed. I hope we get it right. We need to get it right. We got to get it rolling headed into week 5. Like I said, you don't want to head in there and lose back to back to back. Dylan in
Not
the
3 games
chat,
straight.
no. Dylan in the chat said, "Hey, bright side, Panthers are 0-4. Facts, trash. A1 forever. What's up,
Trying to
brother?
tell y'all, trying to tell y'all the Panthers.
Sometime today in this chat, man, here in the next couple minutes, I will be dropping the links for anybody that wants to hop on and talk about these Atlanta Falcon football. Tell us what you've seen, what your thoughts are, how we can bounce back and be the team that we need to be. Kiki said, "Can we talk about Dolman?" Facts.
Yeah,
Dolman, man. We got to get something rolling there. That's the main. It starts at the center. I feel like we coach Rec. We tell them all the time, man. Your O line
it's everything.
is everything. And if the O
It's
line's
everything.
not working, nothing's gonna work. So very
Without them,
true.
we can't make these plays.
Very true. Bodie in the chat, he said, I agree, Philip. We saw Ritter clutch Gene Flash versus Green Bay, but we need to see him build his football IQ and not play timid.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
true. Very true. Sterling Woods in the chat said, but when are we going to get it right? We drafted 3 offensive players and we can only run the ball. I don't know, is it the play calling or is it players or both? I think it's a little bit of play
Everything.
calling. And it's everything, but I really do believe this play calling is suspect. Philip, let's go back to the 4th down play, the one that really solidified the L when the back corner throw to Drake. If you're a diehard fan in this chat, you do know that's the same play we ran against the Eagles in the playoffs, and it ended in the same result with the receiver too far back of the end zone. To me, that play should have never been called. I believe it was 4th and 2, 4th and 3.
It was 4th and 2, I believe.
You could have schemed up so much more.
I will say, if I that play, I'm not sure if he was being rushed or not, but I will say he had a wide open Matt Collins. I will say that's my only thing right there. That's it. But that was the guy you seen. You made it, which the throw was a good throw. You made a good throw. It was just sadly we just didn't get the touchdown. It
Philip,
stepped out of bounds.
Speaking a little about Desmond Ritter and Matt Collins, there's a lot of controversy going around right now, and I'm sure you've seen it. We've talked about it. I'm sure everybody in the chat's seen it, but here at Dirty Fanatics United, we want to talk about it. Whatever's buzzing right now with the Dirty Birds, we're going to chat about it. So real quick, we're going to throw these videos up, and we just want to know what y'all think about this as a whole, as a whole unit, chemistry-wise and everything else. So as everybody sees there, it seems as Desmond Ritter comes over after the terrible pass underthrown to Matt Collins that was wide open. You can pretty much put 6 on the board after he caught it, because Philip, there was a play today that Matt Collins was behind Bijan and he strutted down the field to get in front of Bijan to make a block. So Matt Collins has the wheels,
which was the touchdown drive, I believe.
Not only do fans have questions about what they've seen on TV, but also media. As we all know, media had something to ask about it. So we'll play that clip real quick.
Looked like an emotional moment between you and Dez on the sideline. What was happening with that?
With me and Dez?
Were you like talking to him, like kind of fired up on the sideline?
I had an emotional moment, but not with Dez.
Oh, okay. I might have seen it wrong, but yeah. Sorry, I just saw it quickly on my phone.
Oh yeah. I put a lot of passion into this game. like you said, we have a lot of talent on offense, defense, and special teams on this team. So to play at a level that's not our standard is frustrating. So I'll let that frustration out anytime that comes to me. It's 2023, so that type of stuff is looked at as like out of control or overly emotional. I play the game because I love it. I'll compare it to family. If somebody was doing something wrong to your family and you spazzed out, are you looked at as some weirdo now? Whatever people are going to write, but I'm gonna hold our team to a high standard, and if that standard's not met, then if that's something that I'll do, then that's something I'll do.
So is it just kind of venting and not apologize afterwards, touch base afterwards, just something you need to kind of get out of the system?
It's not something that'll happen every time a drive doesn't go well, but if we're consistently not doing what I know we're capable of doing, then whatever I feel is best for the moment that doesn't hurt the team, I'll most likely do.
Real quick, man, I want to say shout out to Matt Collins, man. This guy's a leader. He really wants to win. He's a stud, man. He's Tarzan. Shout out to Philip for giving him that nickname. Big supporter of Matt Collins. Philip, just your thoughts real quick on the whole Desmond Ridder situation, going over to Matt Collins. Just your thoughts on the whole situation and what, Matt Collins had to say afterwards.
Well, looking at the clip, I don't really personally, when I first saw it, I didn't think nothing of it neither. I just felt like people were just blowing out of proportion. Because if you look at the video, Matt he didn't make no eye contact or straightforward looking at Ridder when he said it. So I don't really think nothing there was, any tension heated there or anything. I think, like he said, he's just a little disappointed because I think he did mention he thought he could have had and another interview that he thought he could have had a little bit more separation today. And that's probably what got him a little frustrated and certain things like that. So he just had to let out something. Because if you look in the video, it looks like he throws his helmet down.
Mm-hmm.
So it just looks like a little bit of frustration, nothing heated between the guys. But for him to come out in this interview and just say that so casual, that's how you know that there's not a problem. And,
Facts.
It's just professional.
It's the competitor. It's the competitor in Matt Collins, man. And
it's somebody that's not settling for the worst. You want to keep going. That's the players I like, man. Just keep
as
striving.
a fan, it makes you feel good that Matt Collins wants to get a W for Atlanta. A lot of these players in the NFL are really out there just for a check. To see a guy like Matt Collins come in, it's his first year in Atlanta, and he's already trying to be a leader, as in setting the tone. Like he said, I'll never accept anything less than better than what I know we can do. So, that there alone speaks volumes. He knows Desmond Ridder is a better football player than what he performed today. Headed to the chat real quick, man. A1 Forever said the offense as a whole is an issue.
Exactly.
330 said, I wonder what Arthur Smith saw in Ridder to tell us the dream that he had, that he has his team where he wants it. In my opinion, Ridder is playing how he is coached. And that falls in with the play calling as well. You got to set this up for this young cat. Desmond's not a seasoned veteran. You got to set up schemes for him. You got to get him started before you start doing these deep dunks. And I think that's been a lot of the problem. You look at the Detroit game, you came out throwing the ball straight out the gate. Today you came out and you gave the ball to Bijan, you gave the ball to Tyler Algier, and then you gave the ball right back to Bijan. That was the opening drive. And that there alone told me today the play calling was going to be kind of suspect. Headed to the next comment here. Said it's still early and things can be fixed, but something has to change in a hurry. Facebook users, this was Robert Stevens. Shout out to you, Robert.
I agree.
Leave a like, leave a share. Facebook users, if you log in to StreamYard /Facebook.com, it'll give you permission to put your name and your picture up so we can see who left the comment. I know it's a little aggravating to do, but if you want your comment to be, with your name, that's the way to do it. Headed to the next comment, Philip. Let's see. Terrell Johnson in chat. He said, on bright side, defense played great. Other than that, busted coverage touchdown. Philip, let's chat a little bit about it. Real quick,
Can we
man,
start on with the sack?
Yeah, let's go straight to the stats, man. Let's just run around the league real quick. Let's go straight to our stats. Philip, just real quick, give me your thought on the Calvin Ridley blown coverage touchdown.
Okay. Everything looked good that play, but it seems like everything was well covered. Kuda had his side locked down, and AJ was going. He was going to guard Ridley, but it looks as if you look at the beginning of the play, who's standing there? Looks like going to get a sack. Who can we guess? Richie Grant, somebody that just irritates me so much here lately. Just runs right by him. How do you blow past an easy sack, which pulls AJ forward because he thinks he's going to hit the check down? Boom. AJ thought he was there. Blown sack. Oh, I could just throw it over the top. Exactly what happened. And then boom, touchdown. Like,
Thanks. I agree 100%. Phil, it was a blown coverage. The sack should have happened. The thrown should have never even took place. We've got to key in on sacks like that, bro. That's plays that matter. That's a third down. You put them in a deep field goal situation there. Your team gets the ball back. But I will say, man, defense was on the field way too long in that first quarter. Offense has got to get it rolling because not only does it help you put points on the board, but it also gives your defense some rest. If you're steady throwing a defense out there, it gives them no time to adjust and look at film of what's happening on the field.
And when I say that, this ain't no bash the defense because they're playing hard as they can out there. They what was the end score?
23-7.
23. They after all that at that time being on the field, we really should have got blown out more than what we really did. But they're playing. They're doing the best of their ability, and I gotta praise them for that.
Let's do a little bit of stat breakdown, brother. I'm just going to run through it, and then we're going to chat about it. And in the comment section, of course, let us know what you think. Philip, starting from the top, we'll go with game leaders. For the Falcons side of the ball, you have Desmond Ridder with 19 for 31 passes, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, coming away with 2 interceptions on the day. Bijan Robinson, 14 carries for 105 yards. Jonnu Smith, 6 receptions, 95 yards. Headed over on the Jaguar side of the ball, Trevor Lawrence, 23 for 30, 207 yards with 1 touchdown. Their boy Travis Etienne, he had 20 carries for 55 yards. And then their boy Christian Kirk had 8 receptions for 84 yards. Headed over to player stats. Let's just talk a little bit about reception stats here for a minute. Jonnu Smith, 6 for 95 yards. Bijan Robinson, 5 for 32. Drake London, 3 for 28. Kyle Pitts, 2 for 21. Cordell Hodge, 2 for 19. Michael Pruitt, 0 for 0. Matt Collins, 0 for 0. Tyler Algier, 1 catch for -4 yards. Philip, before we head on to some more stats, man, I got to talk about the Jonnu Smith situation. This cat is, a guy we just signed here in free agency. He hasn't been here very long at all. He has 95 yards here today in 1 game, and our boy Kyle Pitts is barely over 100 yards out of the whole 4 games. Your thought on that? What is going on there with that?
Personally, I feel like the reason I just thought of this today. This could be, and this may not be true, but this is just my take on it. What I think, more of my opinion, thinking was.
One second, real quick, brother. 1 second. I do want to announce we got a special guest here in the chat, on the podcast. Mm-hmm. We'll be bringing him on here right after Philip's comment. So, Philip, go ahead, brother.
But okay, I'll try to hurry this up. But with him coming back early from this injury, he's usually not there. People usually don't recover this fast. I feel like he's not fully 100% healthy, but he's wanting to compete. He's wanting to help his team get better. So I feel like they're not trying to target him as much because of that knee, because we all see him wobbling out there. We see it. And I give him praise because he's trying, though. He's trying. He's taking double coverages, wide open passes. The other, like, say, Drake, they bit on the Pitts for that touchdown, and then had Drake wide open, or not really wide open, but for the touchdown. I just feel like they're not trying to risk him getting hurt again,
right?
Because he's not fully.
Shout out to Lowski in the chat, man. He said run on first down. I can agree with that. Philip, man, we're gonna go ahead and add our special guest, A1 Forever, upcoming podcaster here on Dirty Fanatics United, man. We love having special guests. And our boy A1 is in the chat. A1, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's good, fella? Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. Hey, man. First of all, thank y'all for taking the time out to let me come up here and speak my piece about the Atlanta Falcons and Jacksonville Jaguars, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the channel, man. You guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe for these guys, man. They work hard. Great Falcon creators as well, man, just like the rest of us. But as far as today, man, today was a very demoralizing day. As far as for the offense goes, man, the offense as a whole, I blame it. It's a team sport, so I blame it on the entire offense. They just don't look in sync, man. They look like oil and water out there to me, man.
Facts.
They're just not mixing, and it's a mixture of, Coach Arthur Smith. I agree with Berto in the chat as well. Can the real Arthur Smith stand up? His
Facts.
play calling is very questionable. Whoever is calling the plays, him, Ragone, it's very frustrating because
Yeah.
you're not doing your quarterback any favors. Don't get me
Right.
wrong. Ritter has problems of his own, but he doesn't
Right.
need any added pressure, any added problems by not helping them out. Now, on those picks, those were completely Ritter's fault
Yeah.
because he should have threw it to Mac Hollins in the flat. He missed Mac Hollins in the flat, and instead he tried to force feed it to Drake. I understand Drake is the guy he has the most chemistry with, and so I understand. But come on, man, like that, the ball shouldn't have been thrown. And then the very next play, that ball shouldn't have been thrown either. Trying to force it to Kyle Pitts. The safety is sitting there not doing anything. Why? Because there was no look off and there's no respect from the opposing defenses to our passing game. We are not running the ball and establishing the run game, something that we drafted, something that we're building on strength. Third best rushing attack last year, and you went and built it on that by getting Bijan Robinson, who is that man, by the way.
And Chris, just real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you talk about, not being able to get the ball out and, the defense having no respect. If you go back to the Packers game, you've seen that they stacked the box, tried to shut down Bijan Robinson, but Bijan, being the beast he is, was still able to be productive. Detroit was the first real team to figure out the success of slowing Bijan down. Today, not so much the situation, but it still seems to be an issue, even with Bijan going over 100 yards on the ground. We still can't seem to pass the ball.
Yeah, hey man, see, money, you were on point, my man. I'm talking about, like, it's the truth, brother. It's the truth. Like, we're not getting the ball downfield. We're not driving the ball downfield. Robinson, he is definitely dynamic. He had over 105 yards on 14 carries.
Yep.
But I also feel like we're forgetting about Tyler Algiers. I mean, I really feel like we're forgetting about him, and I hate that because we're talking about a former 1,000-yard back that you're talking about here, man, and he shouldn't be forgotten about. If I'm not mistaken, he had 7 carries for 16 yards, if I had seen it earlier. And that's just not going to do it. I understand Bijan is the flavor of the month and probably the year. And well-deserving because he is that man. But you can't forget about Tyler, man. You can't. And you also can't have Kyle Pitts still going 2 catches for 21 yards as a 4th overall pick. That's all I'm saying. A 4th overall pick has 2 catches for 21 yards, and you have a guy who's been in the league, who is a veteran, who's been with Arthur Smith before, and Jonnu Smith, who is pretty much the number 1 tight end for the Atlanta Falcons. Not Kyle Pitts, not McCole Pewart, not John Fitzpatrick. It is Jonnu Smith. Statistically, if you look at the numbers over how this first 4 games have gone, he is the number 1 tight end for the Atlanta Falcons.
100%. And that's crazy to think with a tight end room with a Kyle Pitts, Pruitt. You also have a John Fitzpatrick. That's a lot of talent there in that tight end room. And me and Philip was talking about it before the show actually started. And we brought up the situation in San Francisco. You got a lot of targets around, and you look at the Falcons, you think, why don't we get the ball spread it out like, San Francisco does? They get the ball to Brandon Ayuk. They got, Christian McCaffrey that carries the load over there, Debo Samuel. And you look at their line and you kind of match it up to what we had last year, carrying over into this season, because it's the same O-line other than your rookie draft pick, Bergeron, that to me personally has been pretty progressive each week in the NFL. So you think about it, and the only factor that you can really come to is play calling. San Francisco has a play caller that knows how to play calls for the offense and knows his strengths. And I really think until Arthur Smith finds that identity that he wants his team to be, we will continue struggling.
Oh,
Agreed.
man, agreed, absolutely agreed, man. Arthur Smith, man, like I said before, he's not doing his offense any favors. The offense just don't look like it's mixing. It doesn't look like it's gelling right now. It's so much miscommunication. I mean, the whole thing with Mac Hollins, I didn't see it initially, and then I had seen it later on. And initially, it did look like it may be a little something going back and forth between those two. But obviously, saying Mac, regardless of whether it was or wasn't, Mac had the wonderful response to just really just kill it anyway. So it was a professional response, just like you guys said, leadership right there displayed. So regardless of what it looked like, it was the perfect response. But it begs the question on, is the offense losing a little something in Desmond?
Yeah, and it's really, really early into the season, to already be losing that chemistry, and that's a great point that you bring up, A1, because to succeed in the NFL, everybody's got to drive. It's just like playing Madden, and you see those little green bars above the helmet about the chemistry. It's a true thing, and if you don't have it in
these
NFL,
guys don't want to just be running for no reason, brother.
Facts. Just like Miss Carey said here in the chat, she said, "I feel your pain, Mac. We get it. We want to win too, but don't lie to us and say that frustration wasn't toward Dez." LOL. I guess he didn't know we got it clear as day on broadcast. Yikes.
Nah, he
Shout out to
probably
Miss
haven't
Carey.
seen the video.
Yeah,
He probably didn't
no
see
doubt.
the video.
Justin Newman in the chat, he said, "What's good, y'all?" Justin Newman, we appreciate you tuning in, brother. Leave a like, leave a share, and definitely hit that comment section. A1, man, I want to thank you, brother, for stopping by, man, and just giving us your thoughts on today's performance and what happened in London. Wish it was a better turnout. Before you get ready to leave, man, please let these people where they know they can find you, your podcast. I know you're on Twitter. I'm not sure if you're on Facebook or not, but yeah, let them know.
Yeah, man. So it's Instagram, A1 Forever. You can find me there. TikTok, I have videos on there as well. Trying to grow that. It's more like a highlight thing, but that's the real A1 Forever. You can catch me on Twitter or X or Twix, whatever it wants to be called nowadays. You can catch me on there at A1 Rock, on there talking with guys like these guys, man, up and coming Falcon creators who do good work, man. And of course, A1 Forever Sports on YouTube, man. Come on by, subscribe, like, share. We would love to have each and every one of you any time of the week. And the ones who are already subscribed, thank you guys already. And any new subscribers, man, come on and join the syndicate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, that's A1 Forever, man. He keeps it 100. Diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, man. We greatly appreciate you coming through, dropping your knowledge on these fans. And we're going to get up again later on throughout the year, brother, and actually do an hour-long podcast where we can sit here and just go over some stuff. But greatly appreciate you coming through, bro.
Thank you, brothers. Y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir.
You do, bro.
Philip, man, shout out to A1 Forever, man. Upcoming podcaster, growing tremendously. He's like 400 subscribers, so the man is steady climbing. He's always coming with the YouTube shorts and etc. Man, he's like I said, a true diehard, and we want to get every diehard here on the podcast. Philip, man, we've been taking up some time. We haven't even finished all our subjects, so let's go ahead and head on over to Avis Avenue for today's content.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not really fun today because we can't be a little high, but it'd be all right. We'll get through it, baby. All right. So what we got on here today, we're going to go through the scores throughout the league today or this week. And, until tomorrow night. We don't know the outcome of that game yet, but we'll get throughout from Thursday today, starting with Thursday.
Let's talk about it.
Starting on Thursday, the score was, we had the Lions and the Packers going head to head. And looks like the Detroit Lions is the real deal here lately, man. They've been building them a team these past few years. They ended up finished this game 34-20.
Yep.
And then we're gonna move on to today, which is this Sunday. We're gonna go next is the Cardinals and 49ers. The Cardinals had a good matchup against the Cowboys last week, but they just couldn't pull through today against the 49ers, falling 35-16.
Sheesh.
Same with them Patriots. I always like bringing up the 28-3 comments, but today they just couldn't pull it out to the Cowboys, losing 38-3. Yeah, sheesh. Yeah. And next up, I think this is a divisional matchup. If I'm not wrong, we have the Las Vegas Raiders against the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yep.
The Raiders fell 24-17 to the Chargers.
What's good, Justin? Appreciate the tune in, brother.
And then we have on today, CJ Stroud may be the real deal, guys. This man's been balling. He's proven he's the better quarterback out of this draft class. He led the Texans to a 30-6 lead or win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. But yeah, then we move on to these dusty ass Panthers. Yeah, both teams walked in 0-3. Today the Vikings walked out 1-3 with the score of 21-13.
Can't even beat a 0-4 team, 0-3 team. Jeez.
Just let the Panthers hold this 0-4.
Yes, sir.
and then I watched this game right after ours, which was a really good game, or it might have been later on in the day. But anyway, we have an NFC East matchup. We had the Philadelphia Eagles against the Washington Commanders. And I will say the Commanders put up a big fight. I thought they was going to pull out the win for a second, not going to lie. But they ended up falling 34-31 in overtime to the Philadelphia Eagles. Then moving on to the NFC South, we have the Bucs against the Saints. It is proven that Derek Carr is not him, and the Buccaneers defeated the Saints 26-9 and took first overall in the NFC South. Moving on, we have the Rams versus the Colts, which was another overtime game, but the Colts just couldn't hold on. They lost 29-23 in overtime.
Yeah, I believe Anthony Richardson's still out too, isn't he?
I think so. He might have came back. I'm not sure. But this one shocked the whole world today. We have the Tennessee Titans against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals fall 27-20.
Damn you, Joe Burrow.
27-3.
Damn you, Joe Burrow, because you're going to cause me to take a L this week in fantasy because you can't get it together, man. We all know you're injured. Just say you're injured. Just stay your ass on the sideline so I can drop you. I should have.
He can't help it, man. He's been home alone. Okay, he can't help it. He can't help it.
Real quick before you continue on, brother, let's hit the chat. We got a bunch of comments. Sterling Woods said, "I still want to know why we have Dave as our QB coach. He wasn't good with the Bears, and he isn't good here." Phil, I don't believe Dave is our QB coach. Nobody really knows what Dave Ragoni's position even is. Our QB coach is an ex-quarterback. What's his name, Philip?
No, he's the wide receiver coach.
Okay, so maybe Dave is the QB coach. Sterling, appreciate you for educating us on that. Miss Carey said, pass rush is still a glaring issue for me, but thankfully defense has been keeping us in games. Offense is not helping them at all to win games. Defense has improved so much since the past year, though. Our boy Dwayne Ruffin in the chat said, my people with all said we can still accomplish our goals. Shout out to Dwayne Ruffin, man, a guy that supported us from day one, man. He just bought not one, but 2 Dirty Fanatic shirts over at Bonfire. Be sure to check out Bonfire. Being said, man, Dwayne Ruffin has entered into the giveaway for either a ticket or a jersey. It's their choice. So shout out to Dwayne Ruffin. And since he bought more than one shirt, I'll go ahead and enter that name twice. So Dwayne Ruffin's in the drawing twice for a ticket or a jersey of your choice. You pick, we'll send it to you. So shout out to everybody that's doing that. Head over to Bonfire. Be sure to check us out. Only 10 lucky people will be entered into a raffle, and you must be a subscriber and purchased.
10? Only 10?
Just 10.
Sheesh.
Just 10. So somebody's going to have a real good choice of chance of winning this one. Headed to the next comment here, Philip. I believe we got a new subscriber in the chat, man. Super Cantor 85 said, my biggest complaint is that I dropped $400 on the NFL ticket, but would have to send more money just to be disappointed on ESPN Plus. Had to wake up at 6:30 a.m. California to be disappointed. Sheesh, that man woke up early to watch some Dirty Birds, man. Shout out to Super Cantra for being a diehard. It takes a diehard to wake up early.
I felt that pain.
Dwayne Robinson said, real talk, defense is much better. We really got to get on track. Facts, man. Dwayne Ruffin keeps it up 100. Definitely a diehard fan.
I agree.
Somebody new in the chat, I believe they follow over from A1. I said, if you ask me, the team we had last year looked better than this one this year so far. Philip, your thoughts on that?
Offensive wise, so far it does. I'm not gonna lie to you. Defensive wise, no. But if we can get that offense clicking like we did last year, I'm telling you, it'll look just a whole lot better.
Giving Game Sports Talk, man. I don't know if you got a podcast, brother, but if you do, I'll be sure to check out your channel, man. If you haven't, hit that subscribe, and I'll definitely do the same for you, brother. Dwayne Ruffin in the chat said, Texas game is going to be interesting. Philip, we talked about it a little bit about C.J. Stroud finally finding his Stroud in the NFL. So just your thoughts, Philip, what do you think about the Texan matchup next week?
With the way who was it they played? Who did I say?
They played the Jags last week and defeated the Jags. Pretty nice.
I done forgot. Who did I say? I don't even remember. Oh, they played the Steelers. Okay, so the way they dealt with them boys today, we're going to have to tame him. The defense is going to have to kick it another gear because –
question here in the chat, man. He's 95 North Talk Show said, Phillies is the Houston game now a must-win for Atlanta. 100%.
To me, absolutely, yes.
100%.
Got to.
100%. Miss Carey says she agrees with Berto. She said it is the most winnable, in my opinion, between the next three. Facts. We got to, they say it's the easiest schedule, but, you really know how easy that schedule is until the year gets started because teams get better each and every year. Headed to the next comment, it said Shaw is QB coach. Dwayne Ruffin said, all love, man. Shout out to you, brother. A1 Forever in the chat said 100. Once again, man, shout out to A1. 95 said, at Carey, your opinion is very valid. A1 Forever said, we have to account for C.J. Stroud in that offense.
We seen him in person, Georgia game, back at the Peach Bowl. He torched a good defense. We know what he can do. He did it today. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh has a pretty decent defense as well. We're going to have to kick it another gear. Everything's going to have to, like we said, it's going to have to click to win this game.
Miss Carey, we agree. We said CJ Stroud should have been in the NFC South with the Panthers, but being
I'm
rivals,
glad.
Fuck them.
I'm glad.
Big Boy Brewski in the chat. Shout out to Big Boy Brewski. He said we need to fix the offense quick, or it may be a long season.
Agree.
100% agree, brother. A1 Forever said Panthers going Panther.
Always. Dirty ass Panther. That's one cat I don't like.
Real quick, man. We'll hit our injury report real quick before we get ready to wrap this thing up, man. We not any good news with D. Alfred going out today with a concussion protocol. I'm not sure what that's looking like. We'll have an actual injury report tomorrow. Somebody that came off the injury list today, Cordell Patterson, seen on the field a couple of times. No action really, but Cordell Patterson is back. That's
the joke is
happy about.
The joke is he didn't play much. That's your joke for the day.
At all. Philip, man, let's talk about this NFC South standings, bro. You look at us now, and the Bucs are 3-1. Who would have thought that? Saints fall to 2-2. The Atlanta Falcons fall to 2-2. And the Panthers are in the basement with the lights off. I heard the pipes were draining down there, so it's probably flooded. Panthers are 0-4 right now in the basement. Philip, that being said, next week is 100% must-win game. Not sure. Philip, are we still going to the A next week? Maybe. Dirty Fanatics United may be in Atlanta next Sunday, watching the Falcons take on the Texans. If we're there, we'll be sure to go live. We definitely want to meet up with all the supporters. Our boy Justin Newman, Miss Pam, whoever's here, whoever's going to be at the game next week, we definitely want to meet up with y'all if we're there. Philip, with that being said,
let's head on to our last subject for tonight. What is the success to winning games?
Well, we all know we got to move the ball more than just 9 yards every play. We got to get the ball really consecutive, man. We got to keep moving. We got to be on 10 toes this week, man. Every week, really. We just got to keep, just get back to what we're used to. Yeah. Got to stop looking and dwelling on like certain things, like how today turned out. Let's not dwell on that. Let's look back at it as a reference and then get back at it. Keep your confidence, go back out there, make some good offensive decisions, scan the field, and have good offensive plays. Really, to me, that's the biggest key.
Facts. Shout out to Demetrius Jeffrey in the comment section. He said we got to win against the Texans. The way we lost against the Lions and Jaguars is unacceptable. 100% agree, Demetrius. We appreciate you coming through, leaving a comment, by the way. If you haven't, be sure to hit that subscribe. But, as Falcon fans, man, it's disappointing to see a team that we thought were going to be so great this year, just build us up to let us down. It's still early, still a lot of hope for these Atlanta Falcons. We can still turn this thing around and get right. We still got a bye week coming up. And, hey, we're undefeated in the NFC South, so we're still looking okay as of now. Miss Carey in the chat still, she said, take a shot every time they show or talk about Taylor Swift tonight during the Chiefs-Jets game. Laugh my ass off. Just kidding. I want y'all to live. Carey said, I saw Aaron Rodgers said tonight he had plans to come back this season. How? With that injury and his age, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers is a big psychedelic guy. He likes psychedelic drugs, so he may be on the shrooms right now.
He ain't coming back.
With that being said, man, that's going to wrap us up for tonight. We'll go ahead and hit our shout outs. Philip, go ahead and let us know what you want to shout out tonight.
Shout out God for this opportunity, man. Thank God for another day. Shout out for this podcast. Everybody's showing love, man. Y'all go get your merch. Shout out to everybody in the comments. It actually means a lot, bro. Like, to us, you might look at it and like, oh, it's a few numbers. But, hey, it shows us we're growing. That means a lot to us. So shout out to everybody. And shout out, despite the past 2 weeks, shout out to the fans for not giving up just yet,
Yep.
We got to stay faithful. We got to stay strong. And then we'll eventually get it together, guys. I promise. So shout out to y'all, and just as always, man, rise up, baby.
Hey, you heard the man, Philip. That's Avid's boy. Check him out on Twitter, Twitch. The man be doing it big. Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. All the new subscribers. I believe we gained at least 2 to 3 new subscribers tonight. So shout out to everybody that tuned in from A1's channel, that came over, showed us love. Shout out to A1 himself, Mr. Chris, bro. We appreciate you coming through, dog. We're going to definitely link up later on this season and do a whole simulcast or something. We'll figure it out. We'll definitely get up. Real quick, shout out to everybody that's bought merch, man. Right there's the link. It'll be in the description after the show. Be sure to head over. Like I said, once we sell 10 pieces of merch, man, we're going big time with it. We're going to give away a game day ticket or a game day jersey. Whoever wins it, it is their decision. You will also pick, what date that you're able to be in Atlanta for the game. So, man, we're going to work around it.
When will we do this?
As soon as we hit 10. Yep. As soon as we hit 10. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to LaMarcus Boyd and shout out to Wayne Ruffkin. We got 3 sales right now, Philip. So 7 more to go.
2 names, but that's 2 names. Actually, 2 names, but 2 of them's already in there. So that makes 3.
Hey, one said, can't wait, bros, man. Yeah, we're gonna do it big time this year, man. We're growing, and we can't do it without y'all, man. So we greatly appreciate everybody that's collabed with us, everybody that's just stuck their neck out.
It's been fun, man.
United definitely has been fun, and we're just getting started. Just getting started. We headed to 1K, Philip. We headed to 1K. That's the goal, and we're gonna get there with all these supporters. So
we're gonna be in the Mr. 1000 Club.
Once again, shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Shout out to all the Dirty Birds. Shout out to the Dirty Birds. We're going to get this thing rolling. Shout out to Desmond Ritter for keeping his head high, not coming into an interview with bad attitude. Shout out to Matt Collins for showing the love of the game that he has. And most importantly, man, shout out to Calais Campbell for still setting that edge like he does so well to be so old.
That's a man.
With that being said, brother, there's not much more to talk about. We'll see y'all during the week. Definitely won't be Friday night because them Appleton County Pirates take on Toombs County Bulldogs. Another region dub. another region dub. So something to look forward to. Also, shout out to me and Philip. We'll be coaching our second game, going up against the Cowboys. So shout out to
the Dallas Cowgirls.
Hoping we pull a dub out tomorrow. Once again, man, we greatly appreciate everybody. With that being said, it's your boy Chase from Dirty Fanatics United. A-Town down.